Hi, my name's Denise. Welcome to my dressing room. I am just getting ready today. I'm over 60 and I have this channel for those of us who are contending with mature skin and everything that goes with that because it seems to change quite often now. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, come join things that I particularly don't do as a 63-year-old mature woman for my face. I don't use primer on my eyelids. I don't use primer on my face. I don't use setting powder under my eyes generally. I haven't had any. So this video is to share with you some of the tips and tricks that I've learned along the way. All right, so I am going to plump up my lips first thing. I exfoliated them with my toothbrush. And so I'm just going to continue putting on my facial serums. This is one of the highest that you can get. I believe it is the highest you can get percentage-wise. It's 14% glycolic acid. And this is a product by Alpha Skincare. They've got a great body cream that does the same thing. And so my thinnest viscosity ingredient list on first. The second thing I am going to put on is this ordinary, and this is hyaluronic acid and B5. This I screwed up on. So this was an Amazon thing, and I thought this was the RX, Cos RX snail mucin. When it came, it is not. I'm going to use it. I don't take things back. Anyway, unless it's really bad. So I'm going to use it, but it's not the same, I can tell. If you haven't been using snail mucin, you're missing the boat, let me tell you. It's done ethically. They don't hurt them. And let me tell you, I had some really deep lines under, of all places, under my chin. I don't know why, but I can tell if I forget to use that, I will definitely know. Buxom. To use my Tula eye balm. This is great. It's got caffeine in it. The things I do different. Come hang out with me and watch what I do different and see if it might work with you. All right, so right now I'm going to use this is Maybelline Age Rewind Eraser. And I like this one because it's so light. It's such a thin consistency, so I think it really helps. And it also has a little bit of caffeine in it, which helps, tighten your eye, which who doesn't want that? Got to get my nails done today for tonight. I'm going to be going on a camping trip. Some of us are camping in tents and some of us are going to be in a motorhome. So that'll be fun. Did one last year. We added 2 people this year, so it should be fun. Last year there was 3 of us. This year there should be 5. I'm going to take another, this is Halo Glow Elf, and this is a contour. And this is got a kind of a gray cast to it. And what I want to do is, you can still see that kind of darker area here. What I want to do is minimize that by placing a little area right here that is about that same color. And then right here, so that you can't really see it. And I'll show you what I mean. It sounds confusing. More confusing than it needs to be. Okay. Right there. And right here. And what that does is, see, you cannot see the differentiation in between that as much as you could before, like you can here. And then right here, and then we're going to put foundation over this. But it definitely helps. Do you see the difference? This eye looks more sunk in and darker, and even though we corrected it, this just helps if you have this problem, this issue. Basically, you're making what's light dark, and we've already made what's dark light. So now we're doing the other part of that, which is making what's light dark. So see that? We just evened that up. Now, of course, that's too dark as it sits right now, but that's what I do different. Today, I think I'd like a little bit of a glow, and so I'm going to use this Lumi Glotion by L'Oreal, and this is their darker one, and I'm just going to mix that with, use, this is e.l.f. and this is their satin finish. And I'm just going to put that with that. I am going to take, this is a really cheap Wet n Wild. It's called, it's a contour, and it's called something maple or something like that. And I'm just going to, I have some gels here, going to get rid of that and do a little underpainting. And it's got just the littlest glow in it. I'm going to just use my e.l.f. setting spray. This is dewy. And I'm going to get my beauty blender wet. And I'm just going to put this kind of in between where I already have the other contour color, that maple stick. I'm going to put that. And so I'm going to get the lighter part blended out first. All right, and then I'm just going to bounce in place. Here is, this is a NARS darker powder here for the rest. This has no sparkle in it. Not sure what kind of blush I want to wear today. Let me try the orange. This is e.l.f. liquid blush. It's camo and it's very pigmented, and I'm just going to use one dot. This is so pigmented you don't want to put dots on before you're able to blend it out, because you'll see that it just kind of stays there. Now this looks way too pigmented, right? So I like to take it up to my hairline and down to my chin and on my nose. Okay. Get more fingers involved, it'll help. Just need to put another dot on there. It's so pigmented too. Ah. Okay. I've got some hooded eyelids. I'm going to use, this is the Witchy Warms by Hip Dot, and it's generally the palette that I use in fall, but I'm just going to go for a neutral. So I'm going to take a very fluffy brush, very soft, and these bristles are not too compact. See, you can move them quite easily. And I'm going to go into, and I'm just going to go where the biggest part of my hood is, and I'm going to take this color. You can take a darker peach, a brown, and no sparkle at this age up here for people who have hooded lids, because it'll just pull them forward and make them look even more pronounced. So I don't use sparkle up here. That's one thing I do differently. I don't like to use sparkle up there. And I also like to, instead of tapping, I like to just brush the first little bit off on my hand or someplace else. See the difference in the eyes already? Okay, so this is the biggest part of my eye right here. The biggest, heaviest part of the lid right there, which just happens to be quite a bit. Here's my crease way down here. Quite a bit above my actual crease, and that's where we're going to just pretend. We're going to pretend like that's how it is, and that's how it's going to look. And I don't put anything up to the eyebrow. What's left on my brush is the only thing that I will use to go up to the eyebrow. That might be different from other people too. I know a lot of people like to highlight this, but I just spent all this time trying to disguise the heaviness of this lid, so I don't want to put anything up there. When I'm trying to go out and have fun, I will put a tiny little sparkle right there at the arch, which is fun. The next time I go out, I'll show you. Another thing I would never do over 50, wear sparkly eyeshadow, especially during the day. So I am making my eye look a little bit bigger with this powder liner that I'm using. This eye looks smaller and this eye looks bigger. I have smaller eyes, so that's what I'm trying to do. Now, the thing that I do different, I do not go to either ends of my eye. I do not take it to the outer corner, and I don't pick it up in the inner corner, because I have small eyes and I don't want to close them off at either end. So that is something I don't do, especially over the age of 50, because your eyes tend to sink back into your head. Use my bubble. Now, because we did the jowl concealment, I can see a little darker area here. And so I want to kind of marry that up with, this is just a foundation. And this is L'Oreal, and it's infallible, and it's waterproof. I use my Vegas knee. This is brow and shadow, because I still haven't found my perfect eyebrow situation yet. It turns out I thought I wanted the pen, but when I tried the pen, all I can see is pen on my face. So for me, the powder is going to be a lot softer. Therefore, you're not going to be able to see the lines of demarcation that much. So that is what I am doing now. I'm missing quite a few brow hairs right here from over plucking in the 70s. Another thing that I do different from anyone that I've seen is I like to set my makeup under my eyes with, instead of powder, I like to use setting spray. And so I'm just going to use my Dewy. I spray it into my hand. You can spray it on the brush, whatever you want. And then I just very carefully, while it's damp, lay it. Don't rub, or you'll take your makeup off. Lay that on there. And that will get that just a little bit more concentrated for you underneath those eyes, as opposed to just spraying it on. It just kind of sets that way. I will be spraying this on later. I think today I might just overline my lips and make them very light in color. So another thing that I do different, I do not go to either ends of my mouth, the corners of my mouth, when I am putting on my lipstick or lining. As we get older, things start to droop. Gravity takes control, and the corners of your mouth, unless you're extra lucky, or you get injections. I'm just barely overlining. And I'm just going to pull that down. It's very subtle. Pulling this up into the lip vermilion, which is the color part of the lip. So I'm taking it out of the outline and just pulling it in which already makes my lips look bigger just doing that alone. Since I have worn Lady Bold, it's called Hype Woman. Let me see about this. I'm not killing it with the color there. Okay, and so no, this color is not really a color I particularly care for, but that's okay. I'm going to use a... All right, let's lighten up. Okay, well, my hair fell. It's still not quite right. It's a bit piecey today. I don't know why. I didn't do anything different. Huh. Well, do the eyelash hack, which I'm sure if you've been with me, you know what that means. So I'm just gonna, my eyelashes are completely dried, and so I'm just putting some translucent setting powder on my curling wand, and I'm just going to curl these eyelashes once more and apply my mascara, and it'll be my second coat. That is my video of the things that I do different and the things that I would never do over 50. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, come back here and see me next time. Bye.